gonna focus on the most common beginner mistakes and rookie mistakes that people make on Instagram, because that's actually when the party starts, and that's when a lot of people start shooting themselves in the foot, kinda. And kind of start off with is the camera crooked? Anyway, so in the beginning, you know, people start off, don't know what to do. They do a lot of things wrong, and this is where the real stuff happens. Because sometimes if you do things wrong from the beginning, this is where you start to hone in your shadow ban until forever. Anyway, so you've decided you want to become a part of this whole Instagram community, and this is actually where the first thing happens that you should do. The first thing that a lot of people do wrong is they don't know anything about the community guidelines. And before you're like, I'm gonna shut off this video because guys just talking about boring rules. But here's the thing, my friends. There's a lot of interesting things hidden within those community guidelines that tell you what you're not allowed to do. And sometimes, you know, just reading those, you know, okay, this is probably not what I'm allowed to do. They list out a couple of things. For example, participate in a like, share, comment, or follower exchange program. By just getting accustomed to those a little bit, you're gonna know exactly, okay, I probably should steer away from posting certain content. For example, you guessed it, nudity or children. They want to, you know, keep children safe. They have like a new update out. Their new CEO just released a new statement. They're trying to keep people safe on Instagram. So they're kind of going after content that kind of promotes self-harm. They're putting in some measures against it. I might have gotten locked out of Instagram myself because I did some very artsy picture couple of weeks ago. Anyway, read through that. They basically say, you know, if you overstep certain boundaries, it may result in you getting banned, your account deleted, your post deleted, or other measures, my friends, which means shadow ban. And this is exactly what you don't want to get into as you go along. Why? Did I just kill somebody? Oh no, sorry. I'm sorry for your parents. We're not gonna fight you anymore. So basically what they have, and this is the thing I wanted to tell you, they have a content filtering system. They have image recognition systems into place where they're like, okay, does this content promote self-harm? If there's a slight possibility, don't post it because you might get flagged. And the more flags you're gonna get, the higher your chances are of you getting shadow banned. Same goes with nudity, with children content, just with content like this where you're like, okay, this might be a little bit edgy, which I understand. I kind of like to do that as well, but sometimes you just have to play by the rules. Anyway, talking about this content filtering, image recognition software. This thing plays a huge role not only in the filtering itself, but also in the hashtag game. And this just gets me right into the second part. A lot of people don't understand how to use hashtag the correct way. Do a lot of research based around hashtags, understand things, how the hashtag algorithm works and stuff like that. And without doing some shameless promotion here for my program called Instagram Startup Academy, where basically I talk about what to look out for when you start out on Instagram. But basically, I have a lesson for hashtags in there, and I figured out really pretty interesting stuff about how the hashtag algorithms work, about how to use this hashtag ladder and other strategies to grow through hashtags. I have a lot of people that actually tell me, man, this is the way to grow. I grow like this. I grew a lot just through using hashtags. But anyway, I want to show you a very specific part from this program to show you something really interesting, how the hashtag algorithm performs. Now, there's another thing that I want you to look at in terms of hashtags, which is if you go on a hashtag page, let me just show that here really quick. Travelgram. You can also see they kind of have things in common, as you can see right here. They kind of have things in common. You see, there's even two posts. They look the same. They kind of look the same. Those kind of look the same. You know, those kind of look the same. You know, think it like that in terms of how would an image recognition software track this, you know? Now I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind. I'll tell you how it is. Let's take these two things, for example. And this is the prime example here. The most interesting example right here. You're going to take this. Let's just copy this here. Copy it in here. Let's take this right here. And copy it in here. What the hell, dude? Can you all already see a similarity? And here's what I want to point out, my friends. You know, if you look at this picture, it's like this is a section where there's like a brown tone in this section, okay? What do you think? This section has a brown tone as well. This is like a beige, brighter, you know, almost whitish kind of thing. Same goes here, actually. Does that blow your mind? This is how the image recognition works. This is proof of how this works. And, you know, just for the sake of this, let's blur these things. Look at this. Look at this. Does it look kind of similar to you? I guess so. So anyway, coming right from hashtags, there's a lot of things that you have to know. And the first being, you know, let's say you start off on Instagram, first being, you just throw in random hashtags. But actually, there's a lot of hashtags, and we talked about it a lot, but I just want to make sure that you know that a lot of hashtags are actually banned. Meaning, if you put in certain hashtags, they kind of have a flag on them. You get a flag as well. Might be bad for your account. This might result you into not being able to rank on hashtags anymore in the long term, which is something bad, especially when you're starting out. You don't want to fall into that trap. For example, hashtag TGIF used to be banned. It's not anymore. So it's always good to check out, you know, whether the hashtags are banned or not. How can you do that? Just go on the hashtag page and see if sometimes they don't even have a hashtag at all. They don't have recent and top posts at all. And sometimes they have top posts, but not recents. And if there's something like that going on, stay away from those. It could be a reason why you're hindering your growth a lot. Which brings me right into the next point, my friends, here is a lot of people are hindering their growth actually about overthinking. And I recently hopped off a consulting call with one of my clients, and she was overthinking it a lot. I mean, a lot. You know, she was putting in all these strategies. She had a content calendar with all these elaborate ways to create content, but it's just not viable because it stopped her from actually doing stuff. And which is obviously not the way that you should go about anything at all, actually, thinking about it. So don't overthink it. Be clear that you grow as you go and just figuring stuff out as you go along, because in 2020, 19 and 20 upwards, I believe the so-called no BS approach is going to win, meaning unfiltered stuff. You know, we're just used to being all these filtered things. And, you know, everybody just shows their best sides of it. Social media kind of is harming. Instagram kind of understands that because they want to save things. Like their recent press post, they kind of want to make people safe. They know that it's kind of a problem with certain people on there that they kind of focus too much on their metrics and they kind of base their self-esteem based off of their likes. And also in their community guidelines and everywhere else, they have hidden somewhere inside that they track everything basically about you. So they know everything that you do. They know what you did yesterday and in summer 2015. They probably have a way to see whether your content actually promotes these, you know, BS kind of things where you're just trying to make yourself a lot more beautiful, for example, or trying to make yourself a lot better than you actually are, you know. So if you go the no BS approach, first of all, the algorithm's going to thank you for that. Second of all, your followers, because they slowly catch on to that as well, you know, and they're looking for people that are real and they actually have some substance behind it as opposed to just a shell. Anyway, which brings me into another part right here is that a lot of the times new creators, they start out on Instagram and they are not in clear line with their content, meaning what actually is the content they want to produce. They jump around. I see it a lot. You know, some people, they're like, okay, I want to be a designer. I want to be a designer. So I throw up the designer things. And then they're like, I don't want to be a designer. Now, I think photography is my thing. I'm going to hop onto photography, pursue that. But also, you know, I like to play theater. So I'm going to, you know, throw in a bunch of theater stuff in there. And then the people, first of all, that signed up for you in the first place, your initial followers, they might be like, okay, I have no idea why I'm following this person anymore, because, you know, people forget. Attention spans are slow and low. Plus, new people, they have no idea of knowing whether they should actually follow you and why they should follow you. So you need to be clear with your intentions. And if you are clear with your intentions, you can actually bring this whole boat to generating some revenue even through Instagram. You know, if you're really clearly positioned, if people know what they can expect, if your content speaks for itself, you don't need a lot of followers too. You know, for example, make a living on Instagram. We're not going to focus on that right now. Another mistake, my friends, is actually using third-party softwares, third-party apps. And this also comes actually from a consulting call that I recently had with a student of mine, and he's like, "What about this app that kind of tracks the analytics? What about that? You know, what can I use that? Because I want to know my analytics, and it's gonna help me out for that." Here's the thing: I understand some apps might have some interesting, you know, insights into Instagram. You know, people that were on your profile picture, for example, on your profile that checked out your stalkers, and stuff like that. And they might work, but they clearly go against the community guidelines and platform policy, actually. They have like a huge list of things that third-party apps are not allowed to do. And if they do it, Instagram knows it because they track it anyway, and they kind of give you a flag as well. It's bad. The only thing you're allowed to use is actually official software that was approved by Facebook and you know, Facebook and Instagram. There's a website somewhere up there where you can see that. Basically, you don't need third-party software anymore at all, because seeing as it, why would you need it? You know, focus on your content, and you know, for example, if you want to have a app to post and schedule your stuff, you can do that in the official Instagram Creator Studio. So, you know, don't worry about that. Anyway, last point here, and it's a big one, even though it might not seem like it is. Putting a little bit more effort in the captions. I tell you how it is. People are noticing. People can't connect with you if your captions are super low effort, if you just have some emojis in there and that's it. So focus a little bit more on the captions. Think about the profiles that you follow that you like. Some of them might actually have to do with with good content, but a lot of them might actually be some, you know, profiles that have some nice captions where you can relate with those people, for example. You gotta see it as like a long-term thing, because people come onto your profile, you know, a couple of times. There's like a rule that people need to see you a couple of times before they actively start noticing you or actively start getting interested in you. That's why you have to see this whole thing as a long-term thing. And the better and longer your caption are, let's say you have, you know, after 3 months, you have like 100 posts up there with long captions. This is when you all of a sudden start to get seeing this exponential growth in a way, because people, you know, they see, okay, they track your profile, they see what's up, and they see, okay, this person is really consistent. This person is really putting effort into whatever it is. And this is why things take a long time on social media. And that's another, and this is the last tip here, my friends, is actually giving up way too early. Because you never know, especially with the way that social media works, like I just said. It's at some point, a lot more people are going to notice. They're going to check out what's up. They're going to see you've been in it for a long time already. You've been it. You take it seriously. Then they start, you know, following you, for example. The algorithm's going to notice that. More people are going to see that. They're going to see the same. And this is when things start to get traction. And this is the infamous exponential growth that you see on so many social media profiles. It's not, a lot of people might see that as overnight success, but actually it's not. Anyway, that's been it, my friends. You know, my name is Dominic. We're talking about social media marketing, Instagram marketing, building a profitable personal brand, planning to restructure things a little bit here. You're going to hear a little bit more in the coming weeks. Anyway, if you're interested, if you're starting out right now, if you know somebody who's starting out right now, I have this new program called Instagram Startup Accelerator, where basically I walk you step by step through the most important parts of starting an Instagram profile, the real stuff, you know, without getting lost in this whole jungle where like you have to do all these tactics. No, we're not going to talk about tactics in this program. We're talking about strategies for the long term to set you up for sustainable growth in the future. And hopefully in the future, you're going to be able to leverage that even. Anyway, if you're interested in that, a link is down in the description. My name is Dominic. I'm going to have to stop right now. By the way, thanks for watching, Dominators. That's your name right now. Yeah, so I'm still searching for the name for the guy. It was a guy, I guess, who suggested it. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the doctor now. Bye-bye, my friends. Bye-bye. Just just broke my USB-C adapter. It's not easy. It's really not easy being me. Tell you how it is. Oh, headache. Why? Nah.